Now, Jesus had a lot to say about himself on this subject. But when you look at everything Jesus taught and everything he claimed and the way he lived, there isn't really any doubt that he believed himself to be God. For example, Jesus said, I and the Father are one. That was in John 10, verse 30. And also in John 14:9, he said, anyone who has seen me has seen the Father, which in that context was the equivalent of making divine claims. There were also some direct claims he made related to being the Christ. When the question, are you the Christ, was put to him in Mark 14, he said, I am. Jesus also made direct claims to being the Son of God. On one occasion, the Jews were getting ready to stone him, and Jesus asked why they were going to stone him. They said, for blasphemy, because no man can claim to be God. Apparently, even his enemies thought that he was claiming to be God. Now, much of Jesus' teaching was centered on himself, and that sets him apart from many of the other prophets. In John 14, he said, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. If you want to get to God, that's great, but you're going to have to get there through me. Some of his claims pertaining to his divinity, however, were indirect. In Mark 2, he tells someone that their sins are forgiven. The authority to forgive sins is something directly linked to God, yet Jesus used it. He refers to himself as the judge of the world in Matthew 25. In that same passage, he says, look, what happens to you at judgment will be directly tied to how you respond to me. What can we conclude from Jesus' direct and indirect claims and his teachings about himself? There are really only three logical possibilities. One, Jesus knew his claims were false. He was lying. Well, if that's the case, then Jesus is a horrible and devious person who tricked and led astray all of these people. Jesus didn't know he was lying would be the second option. He truly believed what he said. In that case, he was a Fruit Loop, on par with people inviting their followers to drink poisonous Kool-Aid. And then the third is that everything Jesus said was true. I love the great quote by C.S. Lewis when he says, a man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said would not be a great moral teacher. He would either be a lunatic on level with the man who says he is a poached egg, or else he would be the devil from hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else a madman or something worse. But let us not come up with any patronizing nonsense about his being a great human teacher. He has not left that open to us. He did not intend to.